All right, y'all. There's a lot to unpack in this episode, man. Arrow season 7, episode 4, level 2 was definitely bumped it up a notch in this episode department because we learned so much, man. One, the community center up in the Glades gets attacked by the arsonist known as Jason Cortez or Justin Cortez, one of the two. Thus, that we know the future Arrow is looking for. They actually capture him after, with the help of Dinah and Rene, of course, when Dinah having to arrest Rene before actually even getting that information to actually catch the arsonists, while they're actually at a movie theater as a setup, to set up an ambush on the opposing threat. And it's actually pretty cool. That movie that they were watching was a Bruce Lee film. I actually liked it. But anyway, in this episode, we see Oliver go through tons and tons and tons of psycho psychological troubles. And I say that because a lot of psychological trauma, if you will. And I say that because this new psychologist or something, this new psychiatrist, I guess, really has it in for him. I guess that he either, and this is my theory real quick, I think either he's the demon or he's working for the demon. That's just what I think altogether, for real. And but I could be wrong there. But we also learned a lot about Future William too. He actually, him and Roy actually walked through Star City, and so much has changed. They actually walked the coordinates that Felicity sent him, which I figured this out because I figured she was probably dead or probably just in hiding, just based off of how preset everything was. So the coordinates lead William and Roy to Smoke Technologies, it's really old and abandoned, really thrashed, and they're met obviously with resistance from the Glades because come to find out, the arsonist is burning down these buildings, so then that way a real estate investor could actually pretty much just reap the benefits of burning them down. The arsonist burns the buildings down in the Glades, and then the realtor buys the buildings again to make a profit off of it, and so forth. At least that's from my understanding. And then, but back to the future, in the future jump is what I call it. Flash forward, we see Dinah still being, the Black Canary. She looks a little older. She has a few streaks of gray hair. Turns out Zoe actually is her underling, her protege. And when Roy and Ray asked, no, no, not yet, but and so when Roy asked her, wait a second. So if you're part of the vigilante resistance, where's your dad? And she's like, oh, please, my dad wouldn't be caught dead in Star City. So I'm wondering what the hell happened with Rene. And so really, and then that's when Dinah tells William, listen, Ray, William, I hate to tell you this, but Felicity Smoke is dead. And before then, Felicity is still struggling with wanting to torture, the silencer for information on Diaz. Where can they find her? And so you see pretty much Black Siren and Rene, both of them telling her this. In the very beginning was Rene telling her, listen, you don't want to do this. You don't want to cross that line of torturing somebody. Because that's the same thing that got me in trouble with the Navy. When I took my sentence and got dishonorably discharged, I still have haunting. I still have nightmares of torturing that man. So when Tobias Church tortured me for 20 hours, that was the universe paying me back for doing that to that man. You don't want that on your conscience. Now, mind you, Felicity is willing to do anything just to get her life back in order. Given the fact that Oliver's in prison, her and William are both on the run from Diaz. I don't blame her for doing what she has to do. And this is just madness, man. Seeing Felicity go through that. And so then when Black Siren says, look, all right, we're getting ready. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so basically, Black Siren actually likes this version of Felicity that's ruthless, that's willing to do this. But she let her off with something. Okay, since you're ready to be ruthless, I hope you understand that, in Earth 2, everyone knows you. You run your own empire. And so Felicity's like, oh shit, wait a second. I run my own empire? She's like, yep, because you're ruthless. I hope you're ready for that. So mind you, that's also when the Sansa actually escaped. But luckily, because Black Siren thought that Felicity wasn't using her brain, Felicity was using her brain. She put a tracker in the belt that the Silencer took. So they were able to track her whereabouts. And Black Siren told her, listen, when we track her down, I hope you realize we're not gonna have to bring we don't we're not gonna be able to bring Ricardo Diaz in. We're gonna have to actually kill him. I hope you're ready for that. That's pretty much what it was leading up to. And mind you, Zoe was actually hurt while the fire, went off in the Lake Community Center. It's only when she was in the hospital where Rene actually, went after the arsonist. Of course, the Green Arrow was there also. And that's what prompted Dinah to actually arrest Rene because she allowed the Green Arrow to get away from her, and that's when she got the information on Justin Cortez. And so it was really interesting in this episode, man, because we kind of got like a continue about pretty much a montage of season one back when Oliver saw his father kill himself, so then Oliver could survive. And so the psychiatrist kept saying, "Well, imagine yourself in that situation. What would you do?" So we heard Oliver say, "Listen, I love you, son. You know, you can live your own life. So do this one favor for me, live." And we see Oliver blow his brains out. Well, we don't actually see that, but we see him put the gun to his head and and pull the trigger. And so when the psychiatrist comes back that evening, and I know there's just like this anonymous ding sound whenever the psychiatrist comes, possibly to psychologically prepare or break Oliver for their advanced treatment. And so psychiatrist asks him, "So what is your name?" And Oliver looks at him and goes, "My name is inmate 4587." And so we get a preview of next week's episode where Oliver pretty much is getting ready to be tortured. We see him get beat down with a bunch of billy clubs and so forth. And we hear Felicity tell them, "We need to hurry up and save Oliver because they're trying to erase him." So I think that's the reason why when we see that flash, that I'm sorry, I keep forgetting what they call that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, future forward or future flash or whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry. We don't hear anything of Oliver Queen. We just see William. And so whenever I see like the future Green Arrow, I'm like, oh shit, I wonder where it got him here. So when we see those little future flashbacks, it really puts things together. So I really look forward to seeing what becomes of William and how he got to be where he is, and the rest of the team. Is Curtis still alive? Is John still alive? Um, what happened to Oliver? How did Felicity die? I'm wondering how that happened. I wonder, or better yet, did Felicity die protecting William while he was on going off into Lee and you? Was that when she was killed? I really wonder. There's so many damn questions I want to know. It's ridiculous. But I also want to check out. I had a feeling that Zoe was going to become like the protege to the Black Canary because we saw her when she stopped by Renee's. Renee was like, "Oh, I really enjoyed us teaming up together again." Because that's all Renee's been trying to do for several weeks is to get the old team back together. So I really look forward to seeing what happens with that because we see Dinah gave Zoe this canary pin, placed it right on her shirt, and now that's why that flash forward makes so much sense that she's the protege to the Black Canary. And she's really looks like she's a badass at it too. So I really look forward to see what happens next week, what happens next Monday. This has been your boy Shaver Speaks. I love you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any requests as to what you guys want me to talk about next for my next video, please let me know in the comment section below. This has been your boy Shaver Speaks. I love you guys. God bless.